What is up, my beautiful YouTube family? In this video, we're going to be going over step-by-step, detailed, in-depth tutorials about how to be successful selling on Amazon, and we are going to be going over the major recent changes that you need to know about to be successful in 2019. So grab some popcorn, strap yourself in. I promise you, you're not going to want to miss this one. Alright guys, so let's get directly into this. In today's video, we're going to be going over the simple 5-step system that anyone can replicate and that thousands and thousands of my students have used themselves to create profitable online businesses selling on Amazon. Step 1 comes product research, right? Finding the perfect product that is going to make you money. Step 2 is finding the best supplier and actually getting that supplier to ship your products over to the USA so you can start selling them on Amazon. Step 3 is making a world-class, fully optimized Amazon listing, and we're going to show you exactly how to do that and all the tools we use. Step 4 is getting those first initial reviews. This has changed drastically in the past few months on Amazon. We're going to talk about how to get those tough first reviews, and then we're also going to talk about how to launch your product, right? How to get your product in front of the most customers' eyes who want to buy it. And this has probably changed the most out of anything on Amazon in the past few months, over the past year. And we're going to talk about the brand new way that only we know how to actually launch products successfully. And then step 5, we're going to talk about everything that you need to know from a marketing perspective to actually be successful on Amazon, from Amazon PPC all the way to Facebook and Instagram ads, and literally everything that you need to know to be successful marketing your product. Because remember, the more people who are targeted and interested in your product, that see your product, the more successful that you are going to be. And all of this, guys, is going to be available to you in the form of a completely free cheat sheet, as I said, that will be available down in the description. But make sure you watch this full video so you don't miss anything, because the video has a lot more than we could possibly pack in. But first, let's talk about why you want to sell on Amazon. If you're brand new to Amazon and you're watching this video just trying to learn more, Amazon is obviously a $1 trillion company. Jeff Bezos is the richest person in history. All of these things are not random. They're not by chance. It's for a reason. Amazon is completely dominating the world. They're expanding every single day into new countries and new territories, and they are the absolute, no question, massive leader when it comes to e-commerce, which is a ridiculously high growth industry that if you're not involved in yet, I promise you that you want to be involved in. I have many students now making 6 figures a month, making well over 7 figures a year, selling on Amazon, who started as complete beginners just like you. So give me this full video and I promise you that you will become a believer that you can do this too, because anyone can do it. You just have to know how. So why sell on Amazon? First of all, Amazon is a massive marketplace, right? Continuously expanding, complete e-commerce domination. No one even comes close. There's no one even within miles of Amazon when it comes to e-commerce domination. They have millions of customers on Amazon, right? This is organic traffic for you. The problem with Shopify and some of the other ways to make money on the internet is every customer that comes to your store, you have to pay for that customer to come to your store through a Facebook ad or through some type of advertising to get them interested in what you have to sell. With Amazon, Amazon has literally millions and millions and millions of brand loyal customers that browse Amazon for everything that they need, right? And what that means for you being an Amazon seller is that you get free traffic coming to you as long as you optimize your listing and you actually appear when someone searches for something. So if you're selling a garlic press, for example, then if somebody types in garlic press, which thousands and thousands of people do every single month on Amazon, if you optimize your listing correctly, if you launch your product correctly, your product will show in the search results completely for free. You don't have to pay for that traffic, which is one of the major benefits when it comes to actually selling on Amazon versus other types of e-commerce. And number 3, distribution and scale, right? Amazon FBA, for those of you who don't know, FBA stands for Fulfillment by Amazon. What this means is Amazon handles all of the hard work for you. You don't have to ship anything. You don't have to package anything. You don't have to create your own website. You don't have to accept payments, right? All of this is done by Amazon for you. So if you sell 1 unit a day or you sell 1,000 units a day, there's There's no additional work on your behalf. Amazon's massive fulfillment warehouses handle this all for you. And of course, they take a fee for doing that, but it is well worth it. And with over 300 million customers in the United States, over 100 million of which actually pay for a Prime membership, right? 2-day delivery membership, Amazon's Prime service offering. 100 million people pay for that, right? Your customers are there no matter what you sell. You just have to find the products to do that, which brings us to step number 1, which is product research. How to find the best products in the world to sell on Amazon. Doing product research on Amazon used to be a complete nightmare. Looking through manually millions of different products literally could have taken weeks or months to do. But there has been software services that have been released that take out all of the difficulty for you and allow you with a simple click of a button and running a few filters to see exactly the products that you want to see that have the criteria that you want. And we're going to go over exactly what you want to look for when you're doing product research right now. So the tool that I use is called Viral Launch, and they have 2 pieces of software that are absolutely necessary when it comes to actually finding profitable products to sell on Amazon. The first piece of software is their web app, right? This goes through millions and millions of products on Amazon, and you can put different filters that you want to actually see specific products. So for example, if you only want to see products in the baby section that have less than 50 reviews and sell on average more than $7,000 in revenue a month, you can literally put that into the filters and they will literally show you hundreds, if not thousands of results that match that exact criteria, and it'll give you ideas because there's such unbelievably random things that people sell on Amazon. You can't even believe it until you actually go down into the rabbit hole of product research and see all of these unbelievably random products that people are making thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars per month, every month, selling on Amazon. And one of the most important things about product research is making sure that you understand that this is the absolute most vital step of the entire process. If you choose the right product on Amazon, you can do everything else in the entire process poorly and you can still make a bunch of money. That is how good of a business model Amazon FBA is. But if you choose the wrong product, right, it becomes incredibly difficult to actually be successful on Amazon, no matter how good you are at creating a listing and marketing and all of the other steps necessary to be successful. So I want you guys to understand that the majority of your time in this entire process is going to be spent in product research. You have to understand product research extremely well to ensure that you're going to have the best time and most profitable time creating your Amazon FBA business. So essentially what we're looking for when we're doing product research, guys, is we're looking for products that have extremely low competition, right? A low number of sellers with a high number of interest, right? It's the same thing as basic economics. A low amount of supply with a high level of demand. And the main thing that we're looking for is actually looking for products that have low reviews. The most difficult part of being successful on Amazon is actually finding products to sell as a new seller that have low reviews, right? The most difficult thing to actually overcome is getting the reviews to match people that are already selling in a specific niche. So for example, if I wanted to get into the garlic press niche, I would search garlic press on Amazon. I would look at all of the top organic results, and if all of the top organic results had, 1,000 reviews, there's no way that I'd ever be able to compete in that particular product niche, right? Think about it from a logical perspective. If you see 2 products on Amazon, one of which has 1,000 5-star reviews and one of which has 0 or 5 or 10, which one are you going to choose, right? You're going to choose the one with social proof. It's just natural human nature. I don't want to take a risk, so I'm going to choose the product with the most reviews. And so the single most important factor when you actually are going into becoming an Amazon seller and doing product research is finding product niches, right? Product niches that you can enter as a brand new seller that you can compete on reviews with. And what I mean by that is when I do product research, I look for a brand new product niche that I want to get into as a new Amazon seller, and I want to make sure that everyone on page 1 for the highest volume keyword, right? So I would type in garlic press or basketball or computer case or cell phone case or whatever niche that I'm trying to get into the Amazon search bar. I would look at the top results, and what I'm looking for is the average of everybody on the page 1 of the results after you search the highest volume keyword into the search bar. I'm looking for all of them to have an average of less than 50 to 75 reviews, right? If I see that everyone on page 1 has less than 50 reviews, I think to myself, okay, okay, this could be a very good product. And another thing that I'm looking for as well is I want to make sure that everyone on page one has consistent revenue, right? If only one person or one seller on page one of the search results has, $10,000 in revenue per month and everyone else has zero, then I'm thinking to myself, okay, what's wrong here? Maybe they have a patent, maybe they have a copyright, maybe they have a trademark, or there's just not enough people actually searching for this particular product for it to make sense for there to be multiple sellers actually entering this market. So you want to see consistent revenue and you want to see consistently low reviews. Next, when I'm doing product research, what I want to make sure of is that the products that I'm thinking about getting involved with becoming a seller for are priced higher than $13. And the reason for that is that Amazon has fees for handling all of the hard work for you, right? And if a product costs less than $13, what I've found is that Amazon's fees become too expensive, right? It takes up too much of your margin, and $13 is about the lowest price that you can sell at as a new seller on Amazon and actually be profitable and successful. And the upper echelon, right, the highest price that I like to look for is generally about $50. And the reason for that I'm looking for products between $13 and $50 is people that don't recognize a brand are much less likely to make an impulse purchase, right, if the product itself costs more than $50. So the $13 to $50 range is generally the sweet spot that I like to look for because people are actually going to make impulse buys even if they don't recognize your brand. Remember, Amazon is incredibly good at making you purchase things you didn't know that you actually needed to purchase. That's what they're good at, right? They're saying frequently bought together. People also bought this. Why not add this to your cart, right? Literally the entire website is designed to make you to buy more things than you're actually, you originally came to purchase. And so having a product that people actually want to buy on an impulse, right, or are willing to buy on an impulse is going to give you more sales overall. Incrementally more sales every day means more profit, means a bigger business on Amazon. The next thing that I look for when I'm doing product research on Amazon is actually looking for products that could be potentially giftable. And what I mean by that is if something could be actually given as a gift, it's significantly less likely that you have returns, right? And returns can be costly as a new seller. If you get enough returns on your listing, Amazon will actually shut your listing down, right? And if something's giftable, whenever there's a holiday, which there are many holidays every single year, obviously your sales are going to spike, especially if it's like Mother's Day, Father's Day, or like Christmas related, right? So everything that I sell on Amazon, I try to actually create, think in my mind that it could be giftable in some scenario. It's going to cut down on reviews and it's going to absolutely spike and explode your sales multiple times per year when there is holidays. Next, I want to make sure that the revenue is not too crazy, right? Everybody when they first start Amazon thinks, okay, I have to find the next product that's selling $100,000 a month or $200,000 a month. But when you sell products that do 6 figures a month or high 6 figures a month like that, what happens is you attract a lot of attention from Chinese hijackers and from other companies trying to take you down. And it just attracts a lot of unwanted attention and a lot of the kind of bottom feeders on Amazon. And so what I teach my students and what we've had tremendous success with over the years after thousands and thousands of people have joined my Amazon FBA program is I recommend people going for products that have a monthly revenue between $7,000 and $15,000. And $15,000 a month might not sound like it's going to completely change everything, right? And that's revenue, so profit is usually about 50% of that. But it starts to add up very quickly when you add new and profitable products to your product portfolio, right? And so once all of a sudden, if you're making $10,000 a month revenue, $5,000 a month profit from one product, right? If you add 5 products, then all of a sudden you're making $25,000 profit per month. And it starts to scale very quickly once you add 5, 10 different products, which is very realistic to be able to do within a single year. And last but not least, I want to make sure that a product is not seasonal. And when I say seasonal, what I mean is I don't want to sell Christmas stockings, for example, that have 0 sales for 11 months a year and then have a massive spike. And I do have students that only sell seasonal products, but that takes a lot more effort when it comes to inventory forecasting, and I only recommend that for more advanced sellers, right? When you're first starting off, look for a product that has consistent demand throughout the entire year. And the best tool to actually be able to see that is called Google Trends. So if you just Google search Google Trends, and you can literally use this tool completely for free, and it will tell you the average average search volume and kind of popularity of any product or search term in the world over the entire year. So I like to see things that have above a 50 on Google Trends. It kind of tells me that there's enough demand and there's enough monthly searches throughout the entire year to be able to actually warrant getting into this product niche. So to summarize, guys, we're looking for products on average that have less than 50 reviews, that are between $7,000 and $15,000 in revenue every single month, and that have consistent demand throughout the year, right? And some other things to keep in mind, you want to find products that are non-breakable, small and light on average, right? So that they're not breaking in transit, and not particularly complex. If you have complex items, people are much more likely to return them because they're not figuring out how to actually use it. So these are the main criteria that I personally use. Again, this is all going to be available completely for free in our cheat sheet, so make sure that you do take advantage of that before we take that down. We want to give it to you guys completely for free so that everyone has the highest chance possible to be successful selling on Amazon. But something to note, guys, is that you don't want to copy what I'm saying or what anyone is saying or teaching you exactly. If I say between $7,000 and $15,000 to not actually have competition from all of the other big, Chinese sellers and big corporations that want to bring you down, then maybe you want to look at products that have between $6,000 and $16,000 a month. The point is, guys, if you copy what I say or what anyone says exactly, you're going to see the exact same products as everyone else. And so if you want significantly more advanced ways that no one else is discussing publicly at all, then you can take a look at our cheat sheet down in the description, and that's going to give you guys a lot more in-depth knowledge. But make sure you watch the rest of this video first so that you have everything at your disposal when it comes to creating your successful business. So step number one, we found the perfect product. Step number two is getting it actually manufactured and then shipping it over to an Amazon FBA warehouse so that you can start selling and, most importantly, profiting from your Amazon business. So step number two, we're going to use a website called Alibaba.com. And what this is Alibaba is basically a massive directory of all the manufacturers in China, so that it can literally make anything you could possibly imagine. Most of the things in your house and that I'm wearing and that anyone's wearing pretty much in the USA comes from China. All of the things that are in your kitchen and your living room, right, were probably at least partially manufactured in China. They have unbelievably massive complexes to manufacture everything that you could possibly imagine, and Alibaba makes finding the manufacturer that you are looking for, no matter what you're trying to sell, infinitely easier. When on Alibaba, what I recommend you do is actually search by supplier. And searching by supplier means that you're not going to see a bunch of the same exact listings, because one supplier might have 100 product listings for the same product, and if you search by product, you're going to be reaching out and sending emails, like 100 different emails to the same exact supplier. So looking by supplier actually will save you a bunch of time so that you're actually reaching out to multiple different suppliers, which in the end is very advantageous to you because you want to get 3 at least independent quotes on the product pricing to make sure that you know you're getting the best possible deal that you can. When looking for a supplier, I also like to look for a couple of things. I like to make sure that they've been in business for a number of years, that they have a transaction history, that they actually have an online presence, right? They have a normal looking website, they have a phone number. A lot of times I'll actually call the phone number just to make sure that they're a legitimate business, right? At the end of the day, guys, most of the businesses listed on Alibaba who've been around for years, right, who appear high in the search results, who have images of the products that you want to actually have sourced and created are going to be legitimate. And we're also going to talk about in this step how to protect yourself from a payment perspective, which significantly reduces the risk as well. So most of the guys that most of the suppliers, that you are going to see in the search results are going to actually be legitimate, but as always, guys, I want to protect every single one of you 100% of the way, and so we're also going to talk about ways to protect yourself when it comes to paying them. So once you've done some background research on your suppliers, what you're going to do next is find the best 3 looking suppliers, and you're going to send them the manufacturer's template, right? So we have created a manufacturer's template that works extremely well establishing you as a legitimate business, even if you're brand new, and getting the best responses, the fastest responses, and the best salespeople from all of the manufacturers that you're working with involved from the start, right? This is going to save you a ton of time and a ton of pain that you won't even realize if you use our manufacturer's template. You can literally just copy and paste it and change the relevant information to be about whatever product that you are trying to have sourced, right? And that manufacturer's template, exactly that you can copy and paste, is available in our cheat sheet, which you can download completely for free down here in this link in the description. So with the manufacturer's template, you want to make sure that you can actually get a sample from this manufacturer. manufacturer, right? I normally only get a sample from the main manufacturer that I intend to use, right? So basically the process goes like this. I ask 3 of the top manufacturers, hey, how much would you charge me to make 500 garlic presses, right? I'll ask all 3. One of them might say $3, one of them might say $2, and one of them might say $1. What I would do is I would get all 3 official quotes. I would take the $1 quote and I would send it to the other 2 that charge me $3 and charge me $2, and I would say, hey, I got this quote for $1. Could you guys beat it? If so, I'll go with you. And oftentimes, guys, they'll come back and say, okay, 75 cents. 50 cents, and then all of a sudden you have a price war on your hands. And so getting multiple quotes allows you to have significantly more leverage, because the first price that manufacturers tell you is oftentimes 300 to 500% what they'll actually take, right? So if they charge you, if they say 5 at first, they're probably willing to take 1 for that product. So everything that you have conversation-wise with your manufacturer is always negotiable. Nothing is set in stone. Never ever take what they say at face value. There's always ways to negotiate the price down, which means directly more profit to your Amazon's business bottom line. Some other things that you want to evaluate when you're talking to your supplier is, how is their English, right? How fast are they responding? How good are they being with negotiation? You want to judge these things from the start, because no 2 manufacturers are made equal, and you want to choose the manufacturer that in the end is going to be the best long-term relationship for you both, and that's going to be most profitable for you both, because 2 suppliers, both in China, have drastically different abilities to create products for extremely cheap prices, right? One supplier legitimately might be able to only charge $5 per unit, and that's the only way they make profit, and another supplier might be able to charge $1 per unit and they can still make a profit. So you have to find the best supplier when it comes to your search, so that both you and your supplier can have a healthy profit margin for the product that you are going to eventually sell. Another tip that I found just from doing this hundreds and hundreds of times is, a lot of times suppliers will communicate via the Alibaba website itself. Never do that. It takes 100 times longer. Always, always, always ask for your supplier's actual Skype address, right? So their Skype ID. Move the conversation to Skype. It's a much more immediate source of communication. It's a much quicker way to actually get things done. And generally, I've found the best English-speaking sales representatives for the manufacturers, or for all manufacturers in China, generally operate on Skype, while they have some of the lower level people that don't speak as good English actually responding to the hundreds of inquiries that they get every single day via Alibaba. Generally, I've found it takes between 2 and 6 weeks to actually get your product manufactured. So you want to factor that in when it comes to, planning out when your products are actually going to arrive at Amazon. The first time you actually get your products manufactured, it generally takes a bit longer, because you have to give them your logo, get your packaging design, right? Get the product up to spec, get a sample sent to you, which can take time as well, right? So the first shipment always takes the longest. It's always the most work. But the beautiful thing is, the next shipment and the next 100 shipments are 100% less work, because you've already done all of the infrastructure and all of the upfront front-end work to get things organized. And then last but not least, guys, comes payment, right? The normal way that you pay a supplier is you put 30% down, right? Let's say that you say, okay, I want to order 1,000 units at $1 each, right? So that's $1,000 for the entire order. What I would do is I would pay 30% down. So I would send the manufacturer $300, which is 30% of that $1,000 total, and then only after they're finished and after your products have been inspected do you send the last 70%. So let's go a little bit more in depth on this, right? So for the 30% payment, it's absolutely critical, it's vital that you pay that 30% one of 2 ways, right? Either via Alibaba with trade assurance, which is the method that I don't recommend, but it still is okay. The method that I do recommend is using PayPal goods and services, right? So pay the 30% down payment via PayPal goods and services, because you can get that money back if something goes wrong. And then the second level of defense is via goods and services on PayPal. You can make that payment via a credit card, right? And why do we do that? Because let's say that you make a 30% down payment via PayPal, and then something goes wrong, you charge back on PayPal, and PayPal decides against you to give the 30% to that supplier, right? You have a second line of defense if you pay via credit card, because you can also dispute the payment via your credit card, and then you can force PayPal to give you your money back. So it's incredibly vital that you pay every 30% down payment via PayPal goods and services with a credit card, right? And a lot of times suppliers are going to say, oh, we don't accept PayPal. Trust me, I've literally paid thousands of suppliers. They always have the capability of accepting PayPal. They just don't want to because it's more fees, and if something goes wrong, right, you have the power as the Amazon seller, not the supplier. So if they're being really strict about it, say, okay, we'll split the PayPal fees 50-50. Trust me when I tell you guys, it's always worth it to do that. If something goes wrong, you're basically as protected as you can possibly be, right? And when it comes to the 70%, that is okay to actually pay via wire transfer, which is, T/T is what a lot of the suppliers call it. And that's totally normal to do that, but only ever send the 70% final payment after your products have been what's called inspected, right? So inspections are basically a third party, an independent party, coming to the manufacturer who's making all of your products in China, and this third party will come and say, okay, the products look good, the quality's there, they'll take samples and make sure that, the packaging is okay, everything has like the barcodes on it, and everything looks completely 100% ready to be shipped. So only after you actually have your product inspected, ever, only after you have your products pass an inspection do you pay that final 70%, because once you pay the final 70%, the supplier no longer cares about anything, and that's just the way it is, right? Because they've got their money, they move on to other customers until the next time you order, right? So an inspection usually costs between $100 to $300 to have people actually come and inspect, a third party come and inspect and make sure that the quality is there. Again, in our cheat sheet down below, we actually have the exact company that I use to do all of my inspections, and they only charge $100 to do this, which is an incredibly good deal. Which brings us to step number 3, which is how to create a fully optimized Amazon listing that gets put in front of the most interested customers for your product. So before you can actually make a listing on Amazon, you're gonna have to set up your Amazon Seller Central account, which is the platform that all Amazon sellers use to manage their inventory, to do their PPC, and to create all of their listings. And so when you're setting up your Amazon Seller Central account, what I recommend you do is actually choose the professional seller option, right? This is $39.99 a month, but it allows you to sell as many units as you want every single month for no additional charge, right? If you choose the individual seller option, you pay a $1 fee every single time that you sell a product. So if you sell 40 products or less, the individual plan probably makes sense for you. But if you sell 40 products or more per month, which all professional Amazon sellers, people that intend to do this as a source of income, are going to sell more than 40 units a month, I promise you, then making sure that you choose the professional seller option is going to be best for you. What I recommend my students do, and what I do personally, is actually create an LLC, right? I choose an LLC because it protects your personal liabilities, right? So if you, for some crazy reason, get sued, right? Somebody, chokes on your garlic press and wants to sue you as the seller. If you have an LLC, it protects your personal liabilities, like your house and the money in your bank and the clothes on your back, right? And so having an LLC just is the more professional way to do it. Is it necessary to be an Amazon seller? No, it's not. But do I recommend all of my students, and do I do it personally? Yes, I do. And the place that I make my actual LLC is in Wyoming. In the cheat sheet that is available for free down below, we go into more in depth about why I choose Wyoming, right? There's some protections from an anonymity perspective. There's no state tax in Wyoming, and it's extremely cheap to actually set up and maintain an LLC, right? That is why I choose Wyoming to create my LLC. To actually go about creating your product listing, what you're going to do is go to the Create a New Product Listing section and then choose the relevant product category for your product. What I generally fill out when I'm first setting up my listing is obviously your product name. So if you're selling a garlic press, you'd put garlic press there. And we'll talk about exactly how to actually fully optimize your product title, because it's very important from a search engine optimization perspective to have a lot of the keywords that your customers are going to eventually type into Amazon in your title, because that is the largest weight when it comes to your product title for actually ranking your product organically for all the search terms that your customers are going to potentially search to find your product. Next, you put in your manufacturing name, right, which is kind of the brand name. This does not have to be the same name as your LLC. This is the name that's going to actually show up as your seller store name on Amazon, right? So anytime you look for a product and click on a product listing in Amazon, you can see the name of the seller's store, right, in blue over off to the right. Your brand name you want to keep fairly universal. The reason for that is because you might think that the only thing you want to sell for your whole Amazon career is garlic presses, and you might call your company, Garlic Press United. or something like that. But, 2 months or 6 months or 8 months or a year from now, you might want to expand into other things, right? And so naming your company something very, very specific like Garlic Presses R Us is going to be not a good thing in the long run. So you want to name it something more general so you can have more products under your actual umbrella, like, the Kitchen Superstore or something like that. Next, we're going to put in the product ID, right, which is a UPC, a Universal Product Code. This is the actual numerical code that actually creates the barcode that's unique to every single product in the world, whether you find it at Walmart or you find it on Amazon. You can purchase barcodes from gs1us.org. This is the official way to actually purchase barcodes and UPCs for Amazon, but they are a little bit more expensive, right? You can buy barcodes much cheaper, but Amazon doesn't like it as much, and Amazon may eventually completely phase out all of the cheaper barcode options, but as of making this video, as of right now, you can still use barcodes from cheaper sources such as nationwidebarcode.com, but it is risky as Amazon might soon completely mandate all sellers to actually use gs1us.org. It is about 10 times more expensive to buy your barcodes from GS1, but if you want to be on the safe side, I do recommend purchasing your barcodes from GS1. The next part is offer. This is where you set your price, and a lot of people make a mistake here. They'll set their price too low. You want to initially set your price at the highest possible amount you could ever see yourself selling your product, right? So if it's a garlic press, I would literally look at the most expensive garlic press on Amazon on page 1, and I would price $10 higher than that. And the reason for that is something called a price band restriction. So if you say, for example, set your product price to $20, and then during Christmas time, everyone else stocks out, and you're able to actually, up your price to like $50 or $80 per unit, and people will still buy it. If you originally set your product price at $20, Amazon will not let you go that high, right? But they will let you go from $80 if you initially set it at $80 down to $20. So set your product offer price at the highest price you could ever realistically imagine yourself selling your product, and you can always lower it at any time, but Amazon does not always allow you to raise that amount. Once you've actually created your listing, you're going to have to give your manufacturer the actual barcode that they are going to print on every single one of your products. How that generally works, guys, is you actually send them just a little PDF that has the barcode, they print off that PDF, and then they put stickers on the outside of the box of each one of your units. So if you buy 500 garlic presses, then you would send your manufacturer this one little barcode that we're about to show you how to generate, and they would actually print out that barcode on little stickers, right? And they would put the stickers on all 500 individually, 500 times on all 500 of your garlic presses, and then that's actually what Amazon scans every time that you make a sale. So to generate your actual Amazon specific barcode, it's called an FN SKU, right? FN SKU barcode. And to generate it, what you do is you click the inventory option, manage inventory. You can click edit on the right side of your listing and choose print item labels, right? Clicking print item labels again, you get your FN SKU barcode, and this is the one required by Amazon to have on your product packaging. This is actually what you save and send to your supplier, and generally what I recommend is having them actually apply it as a sticker to your product packaging. The reason that I don't like them actually printing it on the product packaging is because sometimes those printers aren't high enough quality, and then later on down the line, right, Amazon might not be able to actually scan it. So have them printed on high quality sticker and then attach the sticker to your product packaging. And I know we're going super deep and in detail, guys, but trust me, these little details that we're going into right now are going to save you thousands and thousands of dollars and so many hours of pain that I've personally gone through, or that thousands of my students have individually had little situations with. And this is just the summation of years of experience, selling millions and millions of dollars on Amazon and teaching thousands and thousands and thousands of students on Amazon as well. From a product packaging perspective, what I recommend that you do is actually have either a white glossy box or a black glossy box. The only thing that you actually need to have on your product packaging is as follows. I like to have my logo, right, my brand name, where it was made, such as made in China, China actually printed on the box. This is important because Chinese customs requires it to actually let your products out. So you want to make sure that all of your boxes have made in China printed on them, right? So your logo, your brand name, you want made in China printed on the box, and you want to, of course, have the FN SKU, which is your product barcode, printed on a sticker and attached to each box as well. Product photography is one of the things that I see people actually skip out on actually finding a good one most often. So what I see all the time, guys, is people try to take the product photos themselves with their iPhones or in their bathtubs, right? But think about it logically. If you are someone browsing Amazon, what do you make the main decision about your buying on, right? There's only three things. Everyone wastes so much time trying to make the perfect listing, the perfect description, the perfect bullets, right? That's all important for SEO, for Amazon's A9 algorithm, which actually ranks all the multiple millions of products on Amazon. But what is actually causing purchases is only three simple things, right? Reviews on your product, the price of your product, and the pictures for your product, right? The first thing that everyone sees is your picture. So I beg you guys, if you want to be successful selling on Amazon, don't be cheap when it comes to product photos. And the product photographer that we recommend and that we use, all, multiple thousands and thousands of my students that we've had massive success with, is of course available down below. If you download the cheat sheet, you'll be able to actually click that link and use the exact people that we use, of course, with a heavy Kevin David discount for all of you beautiful people watching this video right now. The last part of creating a fully optimized listing is making sure that your keywords are on point, right? So Amazon, like I said before, uses the A9 algorithm, right? This is the algorithm that actually organizes millions and millions of products automatically, all with code and incredibly complicated algorithms, right? So what it does is it reads the keywords on your listing and it says, okay, this product is probably relevant for these keywords, right? So let's say that you're selling a garlic press. What I would do is go to the best service in the world, right, for actually doing this. It's called ZonKeywords.com. ZonKeywords.com is by far the cheapest option, and it's also the most accurate, and it also gives you the most words to actually work with, pulling data directly from Amazon. It's the only service that actually pulls data directly from Amazon. All of the other services estimate it and use old databases and don't pull data directly from Amazon. So I only strictly use ZonKeywords.com for my keyword research now. I use Zon Keywords, and let's say that I'm selling a garlic press, right? I would type garlic press into Zon Keywords, and I would see all of the related words to garlic press, because not everyone calls a garlic press, right? Some people call it a garlic mincer. Some people call it, a stainless steel garlic press or a jumbo garlic press. And what I'm looking for here, guys, is I want to find all of the other highest volume search terms that somebody could type in wanting a garlic press, and I'm going to add all of those search terms to my title. Right? I'm going to try to add as many of those search terms as I can to my bullet points, to my product description, and of course I want to add the highest volume, most frequently appearing terms to my back-end keywords. And again, guys, the cheat sheet down below, which is available completely for free, has a much more in-depth actual tutorial about how to use Zon Keywords in the best way to actually populate your listing so that it is fully optimized, so that you index and appear for the most search terms organically or for free, which is at the end of the day the most important thing for being a profitable seller on Amazon. Which brings us to step number 4, which is how to get those incredibly vital first reviews and how to actually launch your product to page 1 so that the most targeted customer who are interested in your product actually see what you have to sell, and most importantly, buy your product so that you get paid. How reviews used to work back in the day is that you could give somebody a 95% off coupon, they would buy your product for basically next to nothing, and they'd leave you a review. Amazon stopped doing that literally years ago now, and then how it worked after that was people used review groups and they had their friends and family review, but now Amazon is able to track Facebook friendships, they're able to track all types of any shared addresses, any shared IPs, so using your friends and family, if they have any connection to you, no longer works. The only legitimate option when it comes to getting those first vital reviews, right, is what is called Amazon Early Reviewer Program. Amazon Early Reviewer Program is a service offered by by Amazon, obviously. It costs $60 to actually participate in it, and what it does is it actually will have Amazon basically go out and incentivize people to leave you a review if you have 0 reviews. So for $60, you will get from 0 reviews to your first 5 reviews. I recommend everyone to always participate in this program. $12 per review is extremely cheap, right? For $60, you get 5 reviews, obviously, so it would be $12 per review, and that is a very good price to get, to actually get reviews, especially because it's so difficult now to actually get reviews any other way. So I always recommend people immediately to join what's called the Amazon Early Reviewer Program, which of course is available in the advertising menu under Amazon Early Reviewer Program. Next comes the launch, right? You always want to make sure that you have some reviews before you start marketing, before you start your launch, before you start basically anything, right? Because think about it again logically. If you see a product on Amazon that has 0 reviews, are you going to buy it? Because I know that me personally, I need to see at least a couple of 5-star reviews, or else it's too much of a risk. I don't want to waste my time, order a product, have some, terrible product show up at my door 2 days later, and then me have to go to UPS, return it, do all of that work, right? And so the 5-star reviews eliminate that worry for most people. And so don't do anything else. I never recommend starting giveaways or doing anything else until you have at least 1 5-star review, preferably, a couple, at least up to 5 5-star reviews, and then you're really ready to get things going. So the next step is what's called the launch phase, right? How launches used to work before 2019 was you created what's called a promotion or a giveaway. And what I mean by this is you would literally generate coupon codes inside of Amazon Seller Central, and you would give away units of your product at 95% off, 99% off to people out there in the world who are couponers, who want a good deal, who will pay $1 for, a $100 product just so they can get a good deal on it, right? That's how it used to work. Now that no longer works. This is one of the biggest changes that Amazon has made in recent history. Heavily incentivized giveaways at huge discounts off no longer rank your product to page 1, right? Because how Amazon's A9 algorithm actually works, it's very important to understand this. Let's say that you're selling a garlic press, right? The same example that I always use. If the people on page 1, if all of the sellers that are currently selling on page 1 for garlic presses, right? If they all sell on average 10 units per day, if you as a new seller come in and you sell 11 units or 12 units a day for a full 7-day span, right, which is the time frame that Amazon updates their database. If you sell more units per day, Amazon's A9 algorithm is going to say, okay, this product must be better. It's selling more. Let's rank it organically number 1 so more people see it, because the more units that sell, the more money Amazon makes, so they want to obviously reward the people who are selling the most, right? So that's how giveaways used to work. And so what you would do is you'd create, 77, 99% off coupon codes, 11 units per day times 7 days, 77 coupons. You'd give away 77 units, and you'd all of a sudden magically be, appear on page 1. But that is no longer how it works. The new way, and the only way that currently works to actually launch your product to page 1, is using what's called full price rebate giveaways, right? And technically this isn't really a giveaway, but it's just the name that stuck, right? So full price rebate giveaways. Basically what this means is if you have to give away 77 units to get to page 1, right? The idea works the same. The difference is you can no longer incentivize people with 99, 95% off coupons because it doesn't work. You have to have full price sales. And so that's where companies and extremely valuable services like PageOneify, right? That's where they come in. What they do is they'll say, okay, you need to give away 77 units. We'll find you 77 people who are going to buy your product at full price. All you have to do is give us the money to be able to reimburse them, right? So if you sell a garlic press for $10 and you have to give away 77 units, that's 77 times 10 or $770 that you would prepay to PageOneify or a service like it, right? And then what PageOneify would do is they would get you 77 full price sales. They would reimburse all 77 people the full value that they paid. And so to Amazon, that looks like you had 77 full price normal sales, right? Your product will then be ranked number 1 organically, and then you'll get a ton more organic eyes, and your product will start to sustain and get natural organic free sales, right? And then what happens is Page Oneify reimburses all of those people. It was basically like they spent $0, got a free product, and then all 77 of those full price sales, right, those are just like normal sales. And so Amazon actually pays you out for all 77% or 77 of those sales. And so you prepay $770 to Page Oneify. They get you 77 real sales, right? All of those 77 full price sales come through Amazon, and then Amazon pays you all of the money for those 77 sales, and so you get most of your $770 back. Obviously, Amazon does take their fee, like they take all of the fees when they do fulfill all of your units. And the final step of this beautiful process is step number 5, which is, of course, marketing your product with Amazon's amazing internal platform, which is called Amazon PPC, and then also using social media like Google and Facebook and Instagram ads. So we're going to focus on Amazon PPC. It's definitely the most powerful way to actually get additional sales and get additional increase in your organic ranking for a ton of different keywords. We're going to go over the 2 main options that you actually have available at your disposal for Amazon PPC, which is automatic campaigns and which is manual campaigns. Automatic campaigns basically pull keywords from your listing, right, from your bullets, from your title, from your backend keywords that we already fully optimized using Zon Keywords, right, and it takes all of those keywords and it automatically creates permutations of applicable keywords that it thinks people might be typing related to your listing, right? So automatic campaigns are extremely easy to create, literally with a click of a button, and Amazon does all of the hard work for you. The problem with automatic campaigns is generally they aren't as profitable because Amazon's testing a lot of things that aren't likely to work, right? So the strategy that I use with automatic campaigns is instead of creating one automatic campaign with $50 per day, I create 10 automatic campaigns with $5 per day. And the reason that I do this is because how automatic campaigns work is they take the initial conditions of the campaign. So let's say that one of your automatic campaigns shows your ads to 100 people and 0 of those people click, right? Amazon is going to say, okay, this PPC campaign is obviously not relevant for this particular product, and it's going to stop giving you impressions. It's going to stop showing your ads to people, right? But let's say that you have another automatic campaign that shows 100 impressions of your product to random people, and let's say 50 people purchase. Amazon's going to say, okay, this PPC campaign is incredibly relevant to this particular product. Let's show it to 1,000 other people or 10,000 other people. And it's literally chaos at the beginning. It's just luck. It's happenstance. What happens at the very beginning of your automatic campaigns. And so if you only create one, you're either going to be winning or you're going to be losing. But if you create 10, what you'll see is 2 out of the 10 automatic campaigns might be performing extremely well, might have extremely profitable ACOS, which we're going to talk about in a second. You're going to see that 2 of them are performing extremely terribly, and that like 5 or 6 of them are performing okay, right? So what you do is you pause all of the ones that aren't performing, and you scale up the daily spend of the ones that are performing well, right? And it's just a little trick that I've learned to create hugely profitable automatic PPC campaigns. ACOS is a common term that everyone talks about when they're using Amazon PPC. Basically what it means is the advertising cost of sale. So I like to think about it like this. If you buy a product that you want to sell on Amazon, right? Let's say that after all of the cost of goods sold and the shipping expenses and all of the fees associated with purchasing 500 units, let's say that your profit margin is 50%. So when you're actually using Amazon PPC, you'll see a column called ACOS, and it'll have a percentage. If that percentage of ACOS is also 50%, that means that you are using 100% of your profit margin, which is 50%. If the ACOS is also 50%, it means that you're eating up all of your profit margin to be able to get one sale for that product from an advertising fee perspective, right? So you always want your ACOS to be lower than your profit margin, right? And as long as you do that, then you are going to have a good time with Amazon PPC. When it comes to creating manual campaigns, that is again where one of the best tools that I've ever found for Amazon sellers, Zon Keywords, comes into play. Zon Keywords has a tool called Reverse ASIN X, and what Reverse ASIN X does is incredibly valuable as an Amazon FBA seller. What it allows you to do is you can look at the top 4 performing sellers in any niche, and you can literally tell the exact words that they're ranking for and that they're using in their PPC campaigns most likely, and then you can take those those words that they're performing for, that they're ranking for, that you can prove that they're actually being successful with. You can take all of those keywords and then you can immediately apply them to your own manual PPC campaigns. And this is wildly profitable to be able to do. The process that Reverse ASIN X, the tool in Zon Keywords, allows you to do used to take weeks, if not months, to actually figure out and do manually, and it took thousands and thousands of dollars to actually be able to do this. Now, literally with like 4 clicks of a button, you can tell the exact words that all of the best performing, most profitable products in any niche are actually ranking for and most likely advertising for, and you can literally take those exact words, create your own PPC campaigns with them, and then literally watch your money stream into your bank account. There's never been a better tool when it comes to Amazon PPC, and Zon Keywords allows you to save so much time, so much money, so much energy actually going out and creating your PPC campaigns. The other way that I like to use Zon Keywords for PPC research is using the Keyword X tool, right? The Keyword X tool allows you to type in the name of any product, right? And you can see all of the different product search terms that people are also searching out there related to the search term that you input. So if you, again, put in garlic press, you'll see garlic mincer, stainless steel garlic press, jumbo garlic press for chefs, right? All of these words that millions of people out there in the United States or wherever you're selling on Amazon, right? Millions of people in the United States are typing into the Amazon search bar every single day. Zon Keywords gives you all of that in a very beautiful, easy to interpret format. You can just export it to Excel and then automatically copy and paste that into manual PPC campaigns. Amazon PPC operates as an auction, right? So what that means is you have a bid price that you're willing to pay for Amazon to show your ad for a certain word. So let's say that you want to have Amazon show your ad for your garlic press when someone types in the search term garlic press into Amazon, right? So if Amazon's suggested bid price is 50 cents, what I generally like to do is put it at 51 cents, so I'm 1 cent higher than what everyone else out there is actually bidding for garlic press. This means that I will most of the time actually win the ad auction, and then when somebody actually types in garlic press into the Amazon search bar, right, my product is actually going to show first when it comes to the advertisements shown when someone types in that search phrase. So that was a lot, guys. That was seriously one of the most fun videos that I've ever put together. That is everything that you need to know to be successful from an introductory perspective, becoming a profitable seller in 2019, selling on Amazon FBA. Again, guys, we do have a completely free cheat sheet down below in the description. It is a Facebook Messenger link, so make sure that you have the Facebook Messenger app to be able to download that completely for free. And as always, guys, we do have a completely free training for you guys to check out if you want to go much further in depth on everything that you need to be successful on Amazon. So click in the description to check out our free training, or if you want to join the thousands of other people who have joined our family for the Amazon FBA Ninja X course, then of course you will be able to just join our family, and the course goes into so much more depth. I literally share my screen every step of the way, show you every single thing that you possibly need to be successful. We have a ton of discounts on all of the software, everything that we've talked about today. Most of them are up to 50% discounted. So literally you save the price of the entire course on your first product purchase, and I've heard that over and over and over again from all of my students, guys. So as always, I want to give you everything you possibly need to be successful. So download our free cheat sheet, watch our free training, or again, if you are ready to join the Amazon FBA Ninja X family right now, then I can't wait to see you on the inside. And as always, guys, happy hustling.